It's election day in the city of Chicago, where Mayor Lori Lightfoot is fighting to keep her job, and she could be in for a tough battle with 8 other competitors vying for the position. Crime concerns have dominated that race, with all of the candidates putting an emphasis on public safety in their campaigns. Right now, there is no clear winner, which could mean a runoff in April, and big question as to whether or not Mayor Lightfoot makes the cut. Kellyanne Conway is a former counselor to President Trump. She is the president of KA Consulting and a Fox News contributor. Kellyanne, great to spend Tuesday afternoon with you. So 9 candidates in the race for Chicago mayor. According to a lot of people, really kind of solidifies the idea that there will be a runoff in April. But the big question, as we posited at the top, is will Mayor Lori Lightfoot be in that runoff? What do you think?
She may not. It's going to be the top 2 vote getters. Nobody's expected to crack 50%. And there's been some skepticism even coming from her own camp that she may not make it. And the reason is very clear. Crime is up 52% on her watch. Record number of homicides. So you've got one pillar of crime. The other pillar is education, John. Of course, 55 schools said that they had no proficiency in math and English. Think about that. That's happened on our watch. You can only blame everybody else for so long until voters lay it at your feet as the chief executive. One of her major opponents, competitors here, is somebody who came in 9th or so last time, but he's really surging in the polls now. His name is Paul Vallas, and the reason is he's very focused on the fact that criminals are running Chicago with impunity. He said crime is in every corner of our great city. So you see, we've all seen it on tape, but he's also making the point about the blighted storefronts, about the lack of safety that people in the suburbs feel. So when you see these 2 pillars of crime and education, Lori Lightfoot's in big trouble. One last point. Crime and education were very much on voters' minds in the midterm elections a few months ago, John, but it's very difficult to nationalize those types of issues. I think Lee Zeldin in New York did a fabulous job, came up short for governor, but helped win those congressional seats, mainly on the crime issue. But I think when you look at a city like Chicago, where that is front and center and people are focused on that and not federal issues, I think Lori Lightfoot's in for quite a surprise.
You know, you mentioned, Kellyanne, the crime statistics going up more than 50% under her watch. Let's actually put the figures up on the screen here because, I mean, there's been a steady increase. You look at this, 2019, the year that she took office, 60%. It was up 64% in 2020. 2021, 102%. 2022, a 52% increase. And you mentioned Paul Vallas. He and Chuy Garcia, who are her top 2 competitors, really have put forward an anti-crime platform, saying that they would increase the number of Chicago police. Paul Vallas has been endorsed by the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police. So when it comes to law and order, she has got a big hill to climb if she wants to convince voters that she's the way to go.
Yes, and if this facade cracks in Chicago, I think other cities' mayors and these Soros-backed DAs have a lot to account for and should be worried about their electoral prospects. Let's face it, John. These cities are very blue politically. They vote overwhelmingly for Democrats. We are a long way away from Rudy Giuliani, crime fighting, winning the mayorship in New York City in 1993 for the first time as a Republican since 1965. It doesn't seem to happen anymore. But people have had enough. And these Democrats are saying, believe what I say. And what I stand for, I'm the first this, I'm the first that. They're saying, believe what I say and what I stand for, not what you see with your own 2 eyes. And you're showing it right now. You're showing what we see. Yeah. People feel unsafe. They feel that the criminals are being rewarded. The citizens are being penalized. And Lori Lightfoot, I believe, has done very little course correction. She could say, look, this is my 10-point crime-fighting agenda. She can have police around her. But I think it's Mr. Vallas. It's been supported by the Fraternal Order of Police. She has not backed the blue. She backed people like Jussie Smollett, who lied, committed felonies, I think, and she has ignored what's going on in Chicago. One last point. I went back and looked at her platform from 2019 when she ran the first time. You're not going to find anti-crime measures in her platform. So in that way, she's kept her promise on crime, and look what's happened. Totally out of control. Look at all the great companies that have left Chicago. Ken Griffin moved Citadel to Miami. Tyson Food went back to Arkansas. You've got the CEO of McDonald's saying, I don't think we can stay here anymore. Crime is everywhere. So even the businesses that have loved being in Chicago and supporting the city and employing people locally feel like they have no choice but to get out of there. And they're citing crime as much as they are citing taxes.
So I just want to bring up one last contrast here, Kellyanne, because you're seeing on the right-hand side of the screen there, as you point out, what people are afraid of. And what was Mayor Lightfoot doing famously earlier this winter? Videotaped taking a page out of Martha and the Vandellas, dancing in the street there, which a lot of people said seemed to indicate a certain tone deafness on her part. Yet, we look back to 2019 when she was in a runoff. She won every ward in the city. So she's been there before, and she pulled out. She's got the experience behind her to be able to win in a runoff.
It's funny, John, in 2019, she ran as the outsider, and that was attractive to enough voters to make her the mayor. But Lightfoot now is running as the experienced, steady hand, and you must stay the course with her. So the question for Chicagoans is very simple. Are you happy with the way things are going? And I want to get back to education, because her lockdowns were a letdown to the students there, and the declining test scores, the lack of math and English proficiency as being reported by these 55 schools in Chicago. The right wing is not making this up. They're reporting the statistics, Sean. What we've done to the school children of Chicago, what she has done to them, I think their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, neighbors, friends, they're going to remember that when they go to the polls, and they should remember that. We are failing the next generation, and they deserve quality, affordable education. She's against school choice in charter schools. In fact, she has promised in this campaign to stop the expansion of charter schools, which are rescuing a lot of kids who otherwise would be in failing schools.
We got to run, but Kellyanne, thank you for that. We'll find out later on today which way this whole race is going to go. Appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.